Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Unshakable People podcast, where we shape minds and build leaders. My name is Katie Kaspari, I'm your host, and I'm very happy to see you tuning in for this episode. Your continued support means the world to me. Today, we'll be talking about a unique technique that has the potential to not only revolutionize how you chase your dreams, but also transform your entire life trajectory. I know it sounds like a tall claim, but bear with me here. Let's talk about it. The first technique that I'd like to share with you today is called the dream chaser. We all have dreams, right? Be it owning a house by the beach or becoming a top executive in the field. Everyone's dreams are different. Our dreams are actually something that drives us forward. But nevertheless, so often we find ourselves holding back from chasing these dreams. We don't chase them wholeheartedly. And this can happen for many reasons. It can be a fear of failure, which is very common. It can be the lack of resources, or it can simply be an overwhelming sense of doubt. That's where our dream chaser comes into play. This technique, it's designed to help you overcome these life hurdles and to quite literally reignite that spark within you that you lost somewhere along the road. In simple terms, it just enables you to focus your energies on the right things. Focus your energies on something that actually matters to you. And what you do effectively is you train your brain to see these dreams, to see your dreams as something that your entire body really needs. So imagine this. It's the end of the day, the world outside is quiet, and you are ready to tuck yourself in and go to sleep. This is the time when you have a perfect opportunity to set the stage for your dreams and goals. Just free some time in your routine to take care of this. Think of it as a secret session which you have with your future self. It's a therapeutic or coaching session that you are having with your future self. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty of how it works. The dream chaser technique is all about visualizing and mental preparation. As you begin to wind down from your hectic day, you want to just switch off from everything that has happened. This is why we like to do this in the evening. This is when we're tired. This is when our body needs rest and our mind needs rest, and our brain actually prepares us for this. So as you begin to wind down from your day, take a few minutes to sit in silence and just close your eyes. Trust me, your body will help you in this moment, because it's a scientific fact. It's proven that at about 9:30 in the evening, this is in accordance with our biological clock, our body releases this hormone, it's called melatonin, which actually slows down all our physiological processes. So it shuts down, well, not shuts down completely, but slows down all of the physiological systems that our body would not need during the night time, so that we can rest and our brain can rest and our body can rest, and we can recuperate that energy that we have spent during the day. So this melatonin hormone, and it is released only before nighttime, it actually slows our heartbeat so that our pulse is not as fast as it is during the day, so that our body gets less adrenaline and produces less adrenaline, so that we do not stay awake. This is why we feel sleepy. This is the physiological reason behind it. So I want you to take those few minutes to sit in silence and close your eyes. I know it can be tricky in real life because you always have some neighbors getting on your nerves, kids running around, but trust me, this works. Just give it a try. Let all your worries and stresses of the day slide off. And then you want to focus on the dreams that you have for yourself. And don't think that is silly. Just in this moment, trust yourself and tell yourself that this is something that you do for yourself, for your own good. So you focus on your dreams you have for yourself. And those dreams must be something that you associate yourself with. I want you to visualize them as if they are already a reality. As if they are not just some distant aspirations, but this is something that has actually happened to you. You already bought that car. You already got that promotion. Remember, our minds are incredibly powerful tools. What we believe with conviction often becomes our reality. It's just like Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you cannot, in both cases you're right. The dream chaser technique is all about building this belief that you can chase your dreams. You actually need to feel this, pass it through you, let it inside you. Let all of those doubts go away. And you need to make this dream very specific. You need to visualize exactly what it looks like for you to achieve it. For example, say you dream of finishing a marathon. I want you to picture yourself actually crossing that finish line. Feel the weight of the medal around your neck. Hear the cheers from the crowd in your ears. See people clapping and your relatives being so happy for you and being proud of you. Or maybe you dream of launching your own company. I want you to imagine walking into that office. I want you to imagine shaking hands with your employees. I want you to feel the distinct texture of the business cards that you're holding in your hands. You must see the logo that you have designed and see it hanging on the wall. Every single detail matters. This is about immersing yourself completely and utterly into this dream of yours. Experience it. The magic here lies in transforming dreams into tangible realities. And we transform these dreams into tangible realities first within our minds. We must ensure that our subconscious actually believes in that dream, in the possibility of that dream, just as much, if not more, than our conscious does. Now, here comes the second part of the technique. The affirmation. Sure, many of you are familiar with this concept. This is being widely used and something that has been around for a while. The affirmation technically is about speaking words of positivity and convincing ourselves of these positive thoughts. We're not talking about generic affirmations like I'm successful or I'm wealthy. Instead, we are looking at specific affirmations tied to our visualizations. So if you're dreaming about that marathon, tell yourself, I can run 26.2 miles with strength and endurance. If it's about launching your own company, say, I lead a thriving business and manage a long-established successful company, providing services and producing products that everybody loves. Your affirmation needs to be very specific. Remember how I mentioned John Grinder, the genius behind the NLP, the father of NLP in some of my episodes. I quote him a lot. He did something big back in the 70s. He looked at those Nobel laureates and studied them to find out how did they actually achieve what they achieved and why did they achieve such results that the entire humanity claimed those to be genius. And what he noticed, that all of them had something in common. The two main similarities were a tough start in life and a dream that they held onto. Almost like their struggles were the soil that nourished their dreams to bloom. So their tough childhoods actually made them stronger, but their dream that they held on to for their entire journeys was actually something that allowed them to keep going. Grinder then developed a method which we now call the view from the future. And this view from the future is all about looking at your dreams, not just as at something you want to accomplish, but as something you are destined to accomplish. Feel the difference. It's not about if, it's about when. Now, let me explain this with an example. I want you to picture yourself 5 years down the line, where in these 5 years, I want you to picture you have achieved your dream. Say you finished that marathon we talked about, or you've launched that company and it's now flourishing. Now, look back from that point of achievement to today. I want you to ask yourself some crucial questions here. What steps did you take? What decisions did you make? What challenges did you overcome? And this exercise will help you map out a realistic path towards your dreams. Because now, instead of guessing what could work, you're working based on a tested route. It's the route that you've already walked, just in your mind. But for your brain, there is no difference. Your brain has already followed that route, because our brain actually records pretty much everything that we think, just in the same way as it records everything that we see. That's a phenomenon, but again, this is a scientific fact. And it's fascinating how our perspective can change when we're looking at our present from the future. Suddenly, those struggles don't seem anything unachievable anymore. Because guess what? In this mental projection, you've already overcome them. You've already completed that marathon. You've already started the company and you've run the company and you've succeeded and you already have all this money and all these achievements. So as soon as you understand, your brain understands. As soon as you teach your brain that this is actually true, it's like knowing the plot of a book before you actually read it. It takes away the uncertainty and fear. So there you have it, friends. The dream chaser technique in all its glory. Immersive visualization, specific affirmation, and a view from the future. The 3 powerful steps to help you unshackle your dreams and build a pathway to achieving them. And remember, each one of us has the potential to achieve greatness. But often it's our own minds that hold us back. So I now want to leave you with this thought before we wrap up the episode. Your capacity to dream is a reflection. Now let me paint this picture for you. I want you to visualize yourself, but in a different way. I want you to look at yourself and see your body, see your hands, see your feet, see your torso, but you don't see your head. It's like you're there, but you're also not there. I know it sounds a bit like a magic trick, but it's actually based on something called the ideomotor effect. It's a fancy term, but it's really just about how our thoughts can lead to physical changes. Think about lifting weights with just one arm, but only in your mind. Not physically, but mentally. I know it sounds like a dream workout, but it really works. Again, it's a scientific fact. And now I want to talk about the second step of our dream chaser technique. Imagine every dream you've ever had is a weight in your hand. Some dreams are as light as feathers, while others might feel like heavy dumbbells. Just like in the real workout, we start with the lighter weight, right? So we start with smaller dreams and we work our way up. When we come to the gym, we do not expect ourselves to lift the same weights as those bodybuilder guys that have been living in this gym for years. So our first exercise in this mental gym would be called progressive dream lifting. As the name suggests, it involves gradually increasing the weight of your dreams. So we start low and we work our way up. We increase that weight gradually. The beauty of this exercise actually lies in its simplicity. You begin with a simple dream, maybe something like waking up early every day for the next month, or finishing that book that you've always wanted to read but didn't have time and you put it aside for months and months. I want you to visualize this dream and make it a reality. Feel the satisfaction of achieving it. This small dream that you dreamt of and now you achieved it. Now comes the ideomotor effect. As you visualize achieving your dream, imagine lifting that weight off your shoulder. Feel it getting lighter and lighter until it completely disappears. And once you have mastered this technique with your smaller dreams, it's time to take on the bigger ones. Maybe it's that marathon again, or launching that company we spoke about earlier. The same rules apply. Visualize achieving these dreams and feel the weight lifting off. Physically, mentally. Feel it going off your shoulders. Feel the lightness that you now have. And now it's getting exciting. Once you have lifted that biggest dream off your shoulder mentally, you realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. And suddenly, everything seems possible. Now, in the next step, we slowly get to the next phase and the next technique, which is goal sculpting. This is all about chiseling away at any fears or doubts that may be holding you back from reaching your dreams. Now think of this. Every dream is like a block of a marble, but there is more to it. Imagine you are the main character in a movie about your life. At first, you're watching from the sidelines, and then suddenly, you're right there in the thick of it. It's like when you test drive a car. From the outside, every car looks great. Well, generally. But you only know if it is the right one for you, when you're actually driving it, when you're actually feeling the every curve of the road, when you feel every response to your touch, when you feel that wheel, when you feel that seat, if it is comfortable for you. Only then you would know if this car is for you or not. And that is why all the car dealers, they have test drives for you to test that car. Actually go on that test drive and get that feeling. And you know what? The fascinating thing is that once you get that test drive, you get that feeling, you get that experience of liking it. You want to buy more. You're more committed to making this purchase happen. And car dealers know about this. They know that if they let you in the car and let you actually experience what this car is like, you're much more likely to come back and pay the money for it. And the same goes for dreams. When you start being at the center of it, not merely just standing by and watching, you feel every high, every low, every twist, and turn on the road to your dreams. Your brain will actually lead you there, because your brain would want for your dreams to come true. It's not about watching anymore. It's about doing. It's about living. It's about becoming a part of your dreams. The inseparable part. This is the premise of character absorption. This is something very interesting. It's not just about imagining yourself achieving dreams, but actually it is embodying your future self in the present, that future self that you have visualized of having all these things that you want. Quite literally, you take it and you place it into your present. You're no longer saying, I want to, or I wish I could, but instead you're saying, I am, I can, I will. So you replace those intentions, the intentions that are not so certain, with goals. I want you to start by seeing yourself as the marathon runner again, sweating, panting, pushing through the last mile with your gritted teeth. It's difficult, it's hard. You have to struggle. But then finally, you achieve it. You get to that finish line. You cross that finish line. I want you to feel the thrill of signing off on a major deal as a business owner. This is your life. I want you to feel it in you. I want you to feel yourself in that moment. I want you to associate those feelings and emotions that arise. I want you to associate it with you, with that very you that is sitting right there in that chair right now. This is your life, this is your script, and this is happening. I want you to feel every emotion, savor every victory, and praise that victory. Praise yourself for achieving it. Say, well done, you've done great. And I want you to feel that happiness inside you. Now let's talk about another technique, which is called reality dressing. Think of this as putting on your dream like you would put on a new outfit. You have to wear it. You have to get comfortable in it. And you have to make it your own. I want you to see this outfit. I want you to visualize what it looks like, what it's made of, what the fabric feels like, how much it costs. And now imagine that you own it. If you're dreaming of finishing that marathon, start dressing like a runner in your mind. Start. If your dream is launching a successful company of your own, I want you to visualize dressing for success. I want you to wear that smart suit. I want you to be confident. Be that entrepreneur even before you've actually started. So what does this do? It helps bridge the gap between imagination and reality in our brains, mentally, by making the unfamiliar something that we don't know, something that we were dreaming about before, but it was uncertain, it was unclear, it was unfamiliar. And now we actually make it familiar. It's like wearing a borrowed coat. At first, it might seem strange to you. It might seem that it's ill-fitted, it's not yours, but eventually, as you wear it more and more, it will fit. This whole technique is about stepping into your ideal future. You're not just dreaming about it anymore. You are experiencing, you're expecting it. And then you turn around and give your past self some advice on how to get there. It's like a time travel chat with yourself. And this is where timeline talk technique comes into play. Now I want to talk about this one a little bit. So now we come to the next super useful technique that you might consider, which is called timeline talk. In this technique, you mentally run up and down your life. In this technique, you quite literally, mentally, run up and down your life timeline. You communicate seamlessly between your past, your present, and your future selves. You are the experienced mentor in the future and the curious learner in the past. In doing so, we make mistakes in our mind, mentally, that we can in fact avoid in reality. I want you to use your vivid imagination to foresee various possible futures based on different choices that you can make today. So say you ask yourself, if I do this, what could potentially happen? And if I do it the other way, what would be the outcome? I want you to collaborate with your future self and navigate through any potential obstacles before they actually happen in reality. Now, think about that marathon again. Speak to your future self. the one who has already crossed the finish line. How do you feel? Do you feel more exhausted from the run? Or do you feel more ecstatic from the completion? Ask yourself, what would you tell yourself today in terms of training schedules? How would you prepare for that run? What would you recommend your diet plan should look like? How should you prepare yourself mentally? So think about all those different details. And once you have this inside information, not something that you've read somewhere, but use your critical thinking and get that insider information. And once you do it, it will be almost like having a roadmap that will guide you towards your goal. Now, similarly, if launching a successful company is your dream, we come back to that example, I want you to converse with your future self and the one who has already done all that, who has gone through all these steps. And I want you to ask yourself, what challenges did you face? How did you overcome them? Was it worth it? I want you to gather this priceless advice and start laying down your foundation today. The foundation is key. The foundation is what you do in the present. But I want you to know where to start and how to proceed. The beauty of timeline talk is that it merges reality with your imagination in such a way that our dreams start appearing more tangible and actually less daunting. It's about talking away the unknowns by gaining insights from the wisdom of our future selves. And lastly, remember how we started talking about lifting weights with only one arm through visualization technique? Well, through all these techniques, we're constantly flexing those mental muscles. We're actually training them. So when it comes to the time to lift those actual physical weights, or launch that real company or run that genuine marathon, in reality, you've already done it. You've done it hundreds of times over. Like my favorite Albert Einstein, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming actions. Let that sink in. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming actions. And he was spot on, in my opinion. When you practice this visualization at night, particularly as we discussed your melatonin hormone, it's doing its thing around 9:30 p.m. or so, your brain starts working overtime. It starts creating pathways to your dream future. I now want you to think of all the techniques we have covered so far in the episode and combine them into one powerful force. It's not just about visualizing your dream or leaving it in your mind. It's actually about weaving that dream into the fabric of your reality. You need to think both about your reality, about your present, about what you have, your resources, your possibilities, but also about what's there in the future. How can you do this? It's simple. Start by creating a dream diary. Again, hold there with me. I know it sounds a bit odd, but dream diary is something that worked for me personally, for my clients, and for many of my colleagues' clients in the past, and is still working today. Every day, write down a specific goal related to your overarching dreams. Pick a dream, the main dream, and write down a specific goal related to it. For example, if you want to run a marathon, an entry in your dream diary might be, today I ran for 20 minutes without stopping. If you want to launch a business, the note might be, today I finalized my business logo. Today I've spoken to financial people. Today I found some additional information on the taxes. It could be anything. Remember to use the correct tense in your language, in your entries, as if these moments have already occurred. This subtly tricks your brain into believing that you are actually out these goals. And it helps shift your focus from dreaming about something to doing something. It actually brings you closer to. Now let's talk about the manifestation mapping. Imagine you are on a magical treasure hunt where every landmark and clue brings you closer to your goal, your dream. Each small victory is a crucial part of the map that leads you to the end treasure, to your dream parts. Skipping any of would not let you get to your goal, to your dream. So if the marathon is your treasure, each morning run, each carb-loaded meal is a significant clue leading you closer to your goal. Celebrate these small victories. Let them motivate you further and get you towards achieving the bigger picture. Lastly, I want to mention passion, persistence. This makes up an integral part of reality merging. Achieving dreams isn't always smooth sailing. You must expect your ride to be rocky at parts. You would have detours. You would even have some roadblocks. But I urge you to always keep in mind the word of my hero, Steve Jobs. People who think they can change the world are actually the ones who do. By envisioning your future with the techniques that we have discussed today in this episode, you're setting up your brain to start plotting the course to actually make it happen. So why not try it out? Make it a part of your evening routine, at least a few times a week. This approach is not about mere wishful thinking or daydreaming, as you might think. It is about disciplined, focused visualization, understanding the depth and width of your dreams, and truly engaging with them. You might just be surprised at how much it can transform your life, if only you try. So, as we're wrapping up today, remember that what you do before you go to sleep isn't just about winding down. It's about setting up your brain for tomorrow. You're programming your brain to work on whatever you want to achieve in future. You're programming your brain to work today, at night, while you sleep. I would like to thank you for joining me on this little chat about our dreams and how we can actively shape them. So until next time, keep dreaming, keep planning, and keep believing in your incredible future. And on that note, we reach the end of another session, another episode of the Unshakable People podcast. I hope these insights have helped you take a deeper look at your dreams and maybe provided you with some new tools to turn those dreams into reality. Remember that it's not just about seeing the end goal. It's about enjoying the journey. It's about acknowledging every step and celebrating each victory, no matter how big or small it is. And moreover, it is not a race. Everyone's journey is unique and different. It's okay to take detours and longer stops along the way before you actually reach your dream destination. There is no expiry date on achieving your dreams. You can do it anytime. It's never late. And I urge you to keep this conversation going. Please share these techniques with those around you. Imagine the impact if we all started realizing our dreams. What a world would that be? And also, I encourage you to share your progress or breakthroughs with me. It's always amazing to hear how these techniques that we discuss in our episodes, how they are transforming lives in so many different ways. Please send me an email or leave a comment below. Your story might just be the inspiration that somebody else needs right now. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more discussions like this. Your support truly means a lot and helps keep these conversations alive. And once again, I would like to thank you for tuning in today. It was a pleasure sharing these techniques with you, and I can't wait to hear how they have helped shape your future. So until next time, dream big and remember, the only limit is the one you set yourself. This is your host, Katie Kaspari, signing off with a reminder. You're strong, you're resilient, you are unshakable. Keep pushing forward and eventually you'll get to wherever you're going. And remember, I see you. With lots of love and support. Bye for now.